to introduce Rakesh. Rakesh has 13 years of experience in technical writing field, currently in documentation lead position, overseeing documentation projects and guiding teams to product high quality content. Rakesh holds rich experience in developing user-focused documentation for a variety of projects across different domains. He is specialized in creating the video demonstration for new product launches. He has a strong project management skills, is skilled at working with cross-functional teams to ensure documentation is delivered and on schedule. He is also experienced with Jira and GitHub for seamless collaboration with developers and tracking project changes throughout the development lifecycle. Please join us in welcoming Rakesh. Rakesh, you can switch on your camera and go ahead with your
Yeah,
presentation, please.
yes. Hi all.
Thank you,
Good morning.
Rakesh.
Yeah. Hi all. Hope you everybody can hear me clearly. So today is a great session for all of us in terms of release notes. Okay, so I'll be discussing a lot more about what are the new facets of release notes. Okay, and it will be a simple way of presenting things for you. So it will be I'll not be delving on all complex things. So let me share the screen for you all. 1 minute.
Rakesh, you are on mute in case you are speaking.
Hi all. So hope everybody can see my screen right clearly.
Yes.
So great. So today I'll be just discussing upon simple point of view of release notes here. So what release notes all about and what are the approaches which as a technical writer everybody needs to do it. So I'll be discussing on that. So let's go with the agenda of our things here. So today's agenda I just be discussing about the introduction part. So where I'll be dwelling around what are all release notes here and what are the different types of release notes which are there and what are the problems which is we at technical writers faces. So we'll be discussing about all those points here and also we'll be discussing about the solutions how we a technical writer can solve the solution of for a particular release notes. So we'll be discussing about all those things right now in a different atmosphere when you're working as a that is a team of software developers, testers, everything, and product managers also, how you uh, bring out some solutions. So we'll be discussing about all those things and also some kind of tools which will be using it. So I'll be discussing all those points here in this agenda here. So before that, let's start with the introduction part here. So in the introduction, I just don't want to go in detail. I just want to tell you it's more of, I can say release notes are more of a communication for the customers, which provide more of it is more of utmost importance to the it actually. Why? Because here, as I said here, release notes are the major point of view for any end user who can understand like what product has come up with this and what are the features that has come up with it. So we put out those points in the release notes here. Another time, sometimes what happens here in a software industry, some developers they just create those documentation and they just live out with that marketing that okay, you can just project this product, it does so and so, so you can just present those in a marketing platform and you can just sell the product. But it doesn't happen here because a technical should be there who can guide correctly in delivering those things. What are the features really helpful for the end user and how it has to be presented. So these things, a communication medium should be there. So that can be done through using this kind of notes documentation here. And what really release notes are, as I can say, is more of I can say as a software update, or you can say it as a new software documentation update. So that's coming into the market, and also some of the features that provides what are the effects that it provide, and what are the better solution that is providing for a user end user in their daily use. So that's more what are the discussion we have in this year. Okay. And next part, so what really release notes mean is like it's explains the users. Like I can say it like it tells the software end users are for a particular software product that what the software product tells us about and what it can be done and how it can be done. So it explains all those things here in a simple and clear manner here. And also thing is every company who is taking up this product also they will just consider this release note as a major truth document because it provides a clear information like what the product is all about and what it delivers. So we try to and what are the features that comes with this product here. So we'll be discussing about all those things in this release notes documentation. So because it becomes a real kind of truth documentation for everybody. So it's a single source of truth document for everybody. Another thing is when for every release as you see you will get a release documentation completely assigned to it because it gives a value to the product. That means every end user definitely verifies this documentation before getting into the understanding the product what it has the features. So he'll definitely go through these things and also it gives you an idea of what are further updates that the product going to happen and what are changes that is going to happen. So we'll be discussing on all those things here. Another thing is it is an opportunity for the for the companies who is creating this kind of product to provide their update like what are the product update that is going to come, okay, and how it can clearly communicate to the customer like what they are aspiring whether they it is there in their product here or not. So that is the major criteria for documentation process here for a release notes here. So and as I taking later, so we are the major communication medium in between in providing all this kind of process steps for an end user here. So I'm talking in terms of end user here, so that will be more effective for us. Okay, now let's go to what are the different types of release notes we have. So we have, as Smita had discussed a lot of in detail here. So I'll be just delving into a simple core level, simple level like what we have pre-release and beta notes, release notes also here, where we discuss about what are the new software that is coming into market, and I think you'll know see a lot of new product that is coming to market. They are into beta version. So for that they have a release notes also. For this they have we call it as a pre-release or a beta notes documentation where it uses all the new versions that's kind of feature that is coming up. So we'll be discussing about all those things. And also it provides the feature highlights, like what are the features that it has. So it can gauge the customers, okay, this product is coming in the market and this is how the feature that is there in this. And also coming to the other thing is major and minor release notes actually. So major is, I can say is part of a documentation of a release notes for a technical where he will be discussing about writing all the features that is coming for a new product in an agile process. You can say for iteration process, if a list of features are being planned in terms of product development life cycle, then it what are the features that can be done at the end of the sprint cycle. So those are called as a major release points. So in that we'll be adding all the major parts that has been done and how it is being utilized. So we'll be providing those updates here. And minor release updates are like what are smaller updates that has been going even after major release. There are some kind of other features that are I can say it in a simple example like plugins or some kind of added features that has been added for the product. So those can be added into a minor release feature also here. And some, as I said, patch notes and the hotfix notes also are there in terms of release notes where patch notes are like suppose if a product has been going to market and but it has faced some bugs and issues there. So developers will fix those things and we'll try to put those things like in terms of known issues and how it has been worked around. So those things also been put around in the hotfix notes actually. And in terms of patch notes, like if there's something has to be added into the code that has been to be presented definitely in the part of should be present to the end user, then it will go for the patch notes here. So it's more of a like addressing bugs or security vulnerabilities. This kind of documentation is mostly used here. So okay, so majorly we go as a technical we'll be mostly doing major and minor release only, and patch notes and how to end of the day like it comes in terms of demand basis. Like if there's a sudden kind of situation that arises for a product to be released, it some kind of fixes or kind of workaround to be done, then we go with patch notes and hotfix notes here. Okay, hope you are able to get my point clearly, right? So let me go to the next slide. So what are the problems which most technical writer faces is like, see, when they come to the point of release notes, they think that, okay, we should present a lot of content into this. So release notes should not have drag lot of information into that. Okay, it should be a smaller one, and because end users are that they don't have time to read all this documentation what we are providing it here. So ensure that this release notes should have only minimal content, and it should be clearly defined effectively what is it does and how it has been covered. So these things should be taken care here. That's the major point of us in a release notes here. So it should not be too long here. That should be major point for a technical writer to address while writing a technical release notes here. And so don't put out a lot of information in that release note. Like if there's major list that is coming up for your product here, and if you try to and your product manager or your developers are shared a lot of list, like these are the features that is coming to us for this release version. So you don't try to put lot of content into that. So try to demarcate or try to segregate each and every point, so that what are the kind of update that comes into this feature, or make it try to create a subline, subheading, or some kind of sub topic list, so that it will be easier for the user to understand. Okay, it should be okay. These are the features that is then, and these are the subtopics that are part of these features here. So in that way, you can create those release notes here. Can too technical. So sometimes you lot of technical writers, they think like they provide lot a technical jargon to a release note. So you should not do that actually. So you should not see end user, they doesn't know all about the product. They just know only what are the features that is there and how it works. That's why, so you should not make it too technical, like adding a lot of complex words or a lot of technical jargon, which a developer or a tester users or a partner users don't use those terms in your technical documentation here. So make it more simpler, easier kind of words, so that it will be easier for the users to understand here. So that's what the problems which majorly well we face as a technical for writing a release notes here. So you should be very much careful on those things here. And right now we discuss about all these problems here. Right now, let us discuss about what will be the solutions for all those things. See, first thing is,
Rakesh,
yeah,
we are left with 5 minutes, so please.
yes, yeah, I'm just closing the file. So the best thing is having the right access tools here. So ensure that what a documentation team is required. Ensure that you should ask your team like in which way you want the documentation, whether you want it in a doc Word doc term or you. And every company has its own style guide style standards which they want release notes to be presented. So try to project keep them in handy and try to make a structured content before itself when the release work starts, or else when the product development lifecycle starts from the product manager when he try to give you a feature list. So these has to be presented in the release notes. So try to create a structure before itself, send it for pre to peer review. That is a major part, because that comes that wherein you can understand, okay, what they are expecting and how you are writing the information that can be cross verified effectively. So it should be a peer to peer review with the product manager, the developers, testers also, who are verifying this product here. So that's the major point of thing that you need to discuss here. Okay, so these are solutions. And also you can have a you can be a self critic, or you can have your team member verify your content effectively. That's the main thing. And tools, as I said, you can use different, there are a lot of tools which are there, which a company notes for you, where it has to be present, whether right now they are adding in terms of online help, or it can be added in terms of PDF format. So they are converting a Word document to PDF format, adding it to the product help button process. So you can choose as per solutions that can be, the release notes can be presented here. Okay, what are the writing release notes points here should be, ensure that they should be have a great understanding of what you are trying to describe, and an update, like if there is an update in the features, try to mention that in a subheading that is updates, and try to mention in a simple points. They don't add a lot of complex things. Simple, what has the product is all about, try to explain in a more clear sentence manner here. And try to use, as I said, actionable titles. You can use updates, enhance, you can just address addition of some kind of word, so that it can add value to the your release notes points here. And whatever the release notes what you are writing also should address your, like there's some feedback, like in terms of bug fixes or any change that comes up, try to add some kind of sub heading here in terms of known issues or feedbacks, so that can be sub points can be added into those subsections also here. And sometimes we can add visual presentation also to your release notes, like in terms of if there's a process or any kind of flowchart to be presented here, you can take in confirmation with your product managers so that you can present those visual presentation also here. So that's the basic thing when you write a release notes point here. And the best practice you can do is it should be tailored to the target audience. That means you should understand like who are your audience first of all, whether the end user has a knowledge about the product, or the product which is going to the end user should learn about this product in a simpler manner and understand about this product details in a simple manner here. And language and terminology should be more simple. It should not be complicated. So add it in more, add some kind of simple words to the end user so that he can understand it more effectively. And ensure that whatever release notes you are writing here, ensure that you have the same structure of standard style guide to be followed, and also the consistency of headings, subheadings, topics, variation, and use of subtitles and titles should be clearly consistent. There should not be any kind, like if some versions you maintain in a different manner and other version you are giving in a different format, end user will not understand because he'll definitely refer to the previous release process and the next release that is coming up. So try to ensure that its consistency should be there here. And as I said, standardized format, which every company has their own style guide format, which we have to use. And the tone, it should not be harsh or some kind of order term. Like it should be a more simpler understanding and easier way of predicting the things about the product here. And also, you can try to automate your release note in terms of how I can reassume a lot of new things based on this release note creation. So you can create an automation process also in this regard. Okay, that's the main idea here. So this is all I had in terms of release notes point here from yours all. So if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Thank you, Rakesh. It's really a wonderful session. You have
Yeah.
explained so well what is release notes means and different types of release notes. Focusing on minimalism while creating a release notes was really very insightful. You also discussed problem and solutions. Those are going to be helpful to our users, and you have written very concise points how to write release notes and what are the best practices. So thank you so much for your wonderful insights. And if there is any questions, please go ahead. Rakesh is there to help us out. Okay. So now we will have 5 minutes break, and um, we will come back. It is 11:44 now. We will come back in 5 minutes.
Sunita, I think
11.
we have one
Yeah.
question. Can we take that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I will read it out. Sonal
Yeah.
asks, Rakesh, can you explain how to leverage automation in release notes? So have you tried that, Rakesh?
Yes. Automation, like in release notes, as I said, see, there are a lot of tools that is coming up in terms of writing release notes here, like using that. A lot of people are using AI Copilot here, so to generate their own release notes points in terms of feature list and other things. So you can automate your release notes in terms of those requirements actually. So in terms of, like I said, we use certain terms in terms of like enhancements, okay, updates and other things. So you can develop those. I said in terms of adding those information, you can leverage those automation process. Like you can clearly identify like what the inputs your uh, product managers are giving it to you. You can regenerate in an easier manner here. That's what the meaning of leveraging those automation procedures in terms of release notes here. Not the automation in terms of generating content here. It's more of using the same kind of context in an effective manner based on the inputs what you get from your team here.
Okay, thank you. And I think since Sunita is not able to see the chat, so I will read. There is one more question. So Rakesh, that will be the last question from Balav.
Yes.
Is Jira's automated release notes feature any good to implement?
I just say the strong technically I say no to that because it's better we go with discussions with our product managers, developers, and other people. So that's the major thing because you will get a content from the automated process. What you get a nice content, everything, but it doesn't add to your value for the release notes. What you're trying to put it out to the end user here. So always try to discuss with your managers, your developers who have done this feature here for them. So you have to put those things in an effective manner here. So any technical writer should write it on his way manner here. So automation doesn't work in terms of writing technical writing here for release notes part.
Thank you, Rakesh. I think Smita, you want to add something?
Yeah.
Or you have a question? Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Rakesh. This was a really informative session. So just
Okay.
one point. So when I was working on my presentation, I actually wanted to like add a note here that going forward, maybe these automated release notes, how effective they are is, we took the example of, my website wanting to help add products using the UI. So the automated release notes are only as effective as descriptive your description of the whole issue is or the epic is. So don't worry, until the time your PMs write really good descriptions, automated release notes or automated release content is not going to work, and we still have a lot of work to do. So
Yes, that's correct.
So one point, so before Sunita, just I'll take a few seconds on this. So one point I just want to highlight. So people who are asking for automating release notes, especially. So in some of the presentations before and some of the companies I have seen, a bit of automation is done where what people do, they prepare a script, and with that script, they extract the especially the for new feature details or even for issues fixed. Generally release notes you will have that issues fixed section. So first of all, in Jira they will make sure that the product managers or whomsoever are adding, they will have a specific format to follow. So they follow, the team follows that, and then they run the Jira script, and the Jira script, the Python script or any script they can run, they can prepare a script, and that extracts that particular information directly in a Word file. So we have seen that, in case anybody is asking for that kind of automation. Yeah, that's all. Thank you. Sunita.
Yeah, thank you, Puneet. Yes, shall we move ahead with the lunch break? This is 5 minutes
No.
lunch break. So now, yeah,
Yeah, 5 minutes will
so
be
it
too short
is
for lunch, but
11.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it is a break. Sorry. So yeah, we will join back again at 11:55